Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen with the Tough Eggs. So today I'm going to be taking a look into arguably the best long-range fighter in the game, the Honourable Vanguard class. So this heavy fighter sports more amenities than its light and medium cousins. As you'd expect, this comes with a few negative impacts. So it has an extended frame and an exaggerated profile, making it a tiny bit easier to hit. However, this larger frame does allow it to carry size 2 components, and its rather robust design allows the Vanguard to weather a surprising amount of firepower. On the exterior we can see her two large main thrusters. These provide quite a substantial amount of forward thrust, providing a surprisingly good thrust to mass ratio for a ship of this size. Under the wings we can also see the missile hardpoints, and just below this the main landing gear, which is tracked on the Harbinger variant of this ship. Moving further forward we find the business end of the vessel with its quad size 2 nose mount and either a gimbaled size 4 or fixed size 5 hardpoint. The Vanguard really is the A10 Warthog of Star Citizen, though the canopy design does remind me of the Pelican from the Halo series just a tiny bit. The only access to the Vanguard is the ship's rear ramp, so this opens and extends towards the player. When entering the ship, a set of blast doors ensures the cabin does not depressurize when the rear ramp is open, and towards the rear of this ramp, the quantum drive housing can be found. However, looks like I'm struggling a tiny bit to close the doors, and I've turned my lovely pink neon light on. At least I'm not going to get lost for the remainder of this video. And here's the quantum drive store, so easy access when ship repairs functions do come into the game here. Entering the main cabin area we can see the two bunks on the left for the crew, though I would never recommend using them in the current game state. We also have access to the space loo / shower combo and two ship storage areas, one on the left and one on the right hand side of the vessel. Within the main cabin there's also plenty of room to store boxes or black boxes for missions or delivery routes that you're taking. So it is quite a robust interior design here, just sad there's no actual SCU space. Here we also have the internal mounting for the 3 size 5 torpedoes with the Aegis with Love insignia. Quite a good attention to detail there by the RSI team. Moving past the last airtight door we do have access to the ship's manned turret and the rest of the component housing, allowing easy access for repairs, again, when this feature is eventually brought into play. And I do appreciate the placement of these components directly behind the pilot and directly below the gunner, so if any problems do occur you can easily get out of position, repair and get back on the go. It is very functional, unlike some of the vessels in the verse where it's kind of all spread out, something like the Constellation where all the crew's at the front of the vessel but all the components are all the way at the rear, so it's a bit of a trek to get back to them. Also, the Constellation got a few shield holes, so most of the time the forward crew is probably already dead if the ship's damaged. Lastly, we are then at the very front of the ship, and this is the vessel's cockpit, providing a surprisingly good field of view. We have access to 4 main MFDs and a built-in radar. We also have an annunciator panel at the top of your field of view, kind of showing any radar locks, missile locks, or any overheating components on the vessel. Now that this flying tank's basics have been established, let's take a quick look at my recommended loadout. This is the loadout I run on the ship during normal day-to-day usage, though I do sometimes make edits when engaging in different activities or ERT bounties, for example. Okay, here we are on Urkel.games. I do really recommend this website, and I've got my preferred Vanguard loadout saved and brought up for you here. So let's talk weapons first. So I'm running a fixed size 5 CF 557 Galdarine laser repeater in my first slot, and that's linked in weapons group 1. And then a weapon group 2 I have 2 fixed size 2 ATVS distortion repeaters. They allow the Vanguard to strip shields a lot more effectively, although against larger targets I may use different weapons. And then I'm running 2 GVSR weapons, also laser repeaters, and they just help boost that firepower. So altogether, rocking 3.3k DPS on the Vanguard. And then moving on to the manned turret, so I've got 2 size 2 CF227 Badger repeaters, though the turret's never really in use. It's always nice to have the best laser repeaters around for that second player that might be alongside you. moving on from the manned turret, we also have the missiles on the Vanguard, as it can be a missile boat in its own right. So I'm running two 423 missile racks. They both equip two Thunderbolt 3 CS proximity missiles, and they have around a 10-kilometer range. I'm also running two 442 missiles with 4 Rattler 2s each, and they're CS cluster missiles, and they have around a 3-kilometer range. And then lastly, the Harbinger variant comes equipped with a size 5 torpedo rack inside the vessel, and this can hold 3 Stalker 5s. I've left them completely stock. They are pretty good. Torpedoes are a lot slower than missiles, but they do a hell of a lot more damage, and these do around 20k a hit, so that can take out any small fight in a single go, so long as they don't avoid it. Okay, then defensive capabilities. So I'm running a Sucheron military grade C shield and an FR-76. The Sucheron is a military shield, though it's sort of a stealth shield at the same time, and it gives the best HP at the moment for any military shield, and it also reduces ballistic incoming damage by 100%. And it's seen as a lot of PvE bounty NPCs only run ballistic weapons. It's incredibly useful. And the FR-76 again just gives you that massive HP pool. So I'm running 63,000 hit points with 1,100 hit points a second coming back, giving me a minute-long recharge. And it's quite chunky, but when you boost in that forward shield strength, that having a 20-30k shield facing is insane. And then for power plants, I really recommend running stealth components when you can. So I'm running 2 Eclipses, as we have more than enough power output for the build. And then I've just left the coolers and the quantum drive exactly the same. The Jaeger's a brilliant quantum drive. The only other quantum drive better is the XL1. And for the difference, it's not worth 100k. Same with the current coolers in the build. It's perfectly fine as is. So the total cost of that build is around 2.35 million UEC, and a link in the video description will take you straight to my Urkel page, so you can break it down and maybe make some alterations that you'd like. I do love the Star Citizen visuals with the vapor trail there coming out of Quantum Travel. And just to kind of show to you the output and the DPS of this build, I'm just doing a quick bounty on stream, well, on the video should I say, just to show off its pros and cons. It does have a lot quicker quantum travel time than a medium or light fighter. Also the extended range lets you travel all around the verse in one tank. No need to do any pit stops. Can be incredibly useful in engaging in PvP bounties. So we're going to roll in, engage the first target. Looks like it's a fallow Vanguard. It's a bit unfortunate. He doesn't really stand a chance, not going to lie. So we're going to open up with our size 5 from range, and then when we close the gap, open up with the size 2s. There we go, you can see his front and side shields are already pretty much crippled, and we're doing hull damage. So we're doing a little bit of a circle strafe, nothing too fancy. Doing the last few rounds in. And there he goes. And just for argument's sake, let's take out his escort as well. So it looks like a Valiant is that? Oh, okay, already gone. And a Cutlass, okay, he'll be a bit more tanky with his size 2 shield. He's rotated on me, so he's flying away, but he's got his guns pointing at me. So here we are, peppering his shields with those distortion repeaters and getting some pretty good hits on him. Really putting the hurt on him now. Yeah, there he goes. So that's 3 targets destroyed in about 80 seconds or so in the Vanguard. It really is a beast when you can bring its weapons to bear. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, I hope you have enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you next time.